Okay, we are live. Sorry about that. Some of you probably thought I forgot about you. I've actually just been working on a few technical issues here. We're having some dropped frames, which was basically going to make it seem like the stream was lagging. So I didn't want that. Hopefully everything's resolved here. And welcome to another Tuesday live stream. Can't wait to share some awesome guitars with you all here. At least two of them are making their first appearances. So always an exciting time. I'm wondering if I even included links to these guitars in the description. I think I did, so should be good there. But if you're tuning in, please say hello. Let me know where you are tuning in from. It's always great to hear. And also, if you're tuning in after the fact, please still drop a comment. Let me know that you're tuning in later, that you know, if you enjoyed the stream or not, and always let me know what guitars you preferred and why. You know, to be clear, the intention of these streams are never to like pin the guitars against each other to say like one is better than the others. In fact, I rarely find situations like that to be productive where you're trying to look for the very best guitar of the set. I know we're all thinking best, you know, but these are different and all extremely refined instruments. And I think it's just fun to hear them next to one another, especially interesting when they are similar designs, right? I mean, now, these guitars are all so different from one another, to be honest with you, but they are all lattice braced guitars. And I think that makes it really interesting for myself and hopefully for you guys. So hello, what's up, Aficionado Lure Company from Vancouver, Washington. Well, it may be similar to Washington over here right now because it's raining. Brian says, hello from Pensacola. Love the live streams. Oh, that's great. Very educational. How else can one hear so many different instruments back to back? Hey, great. Yeah, I'm glad you like them. And today's so interesting too. So I can't wait to hear what you guys think. What's up, Vincenzo from Italy? Good to see you. Always great to see you. And Dennis from Canada. What's up, Dennis? Sorry you all for keeping you waiting here. I was probably the latest today than I've ever been. So sorry about that. Well, first I'll tell you a little bit about each instrument that I'm going to be showing you today. This is the very first Gnatek guitar, and this is a very famous Australian luthier. In fact, the only problem is I don't know how to say his first name, Zbigniew. Those of you familiar might know, but this is a guitar by Gnatek. I'll say that's what everyone calls these. This is from the year 2014, and he's based in Sydney, Australia. Now, this guitar... It's the very first Gnatek I've had in my studio here. So it's very interesting for me, and I hope it's interesting for you too. It very much surprised me. It's a lighter weight guitar of like the Australian builds. It has a raised fingerboard. Another, I mean, not so common thing with this lattice carbon reinforced design. For instance, like with Smallmans, you don't have raised fingerboards, or Kim Liserog, no raised fingerboards typically. This does have a raised fingerboard. It's carbon reinforced lattice, and it also has this domed back. Can you see that? Yeah, you can even see that in the camera. And very, very nice Madagascar rosewood here on the back. And really a classy design. I mean, I love the rosette. And this guitar does have a lot of wear to it. So actually it's at a price that's affordable compared to what you'll notice these guitars typically at. There's a lot of wear, but no cracks or repairs, no repolishes. It's all original. And wow, does it have a powerful voice. No matter where you play it. It's very, very powerful. So we'll get to that shortly. The next guitar, you guys know me. I don't remember what the next one is. Okay, Kris Barnett, I'll show you that. Hello, Pap and Fuss Guitars. Cheers from Montana. Awesome. Hey, good to hear from you. By the way, I caught some of your clips of your guitars and different people like Renee playing them, and it looks really great. I heard nice things about your instruments too, so would love to connect with you. Greetings from Venezuela. What's up, Alexi? Pleased to be here learning a bit about Lattice guitars. Hey, absolutely. Okay, so the next up is this Kris Barnett. Now, those of you that don't know Kris Barnett as a luthier, I'm sure know him as a tuner maker. It's kind of funny how, he's been building guitars for much longer time than he's been making tuners, but so many people are switching to these tuners now. And this one does not have Barnett. I'm kidding. Of course it has Barnett tuners here. They're beautiful. Just look at the figuring. Oh, let it focus here. There we go. Look at the engraving on there. Those beautiful dark mother of pearl buttons. It's beautiful. Now, Kris does not build a lot of guitars, especially these days. He's involved with a lot of different projects. Of course, the tuning machines is a huge one. And just recently, I mean, as of like a month ago, it actually bummed me out to hear it. He said that he was stepping away temporarily or for the foreseeable future from guitar making. I think it's just one of those things that it consumes so much time. And when you're involved with a bunch of different businesses and creative projects, guitar building is like, gosh, eats up your whole day, right? And all your energy for sure. So this guitar is his 141st guitar. And I think he maybe only built like 8 guitars after this one or something, maybe less. Anyways, when you pick up one of these, you would expect it, I mean, I'm being honest here, you would expect it to be a guitar that's 3 times, if not more, the price, because the craftsmanship, before you even play it, the craftsmanship is just off the charts. I mean, everything is perfect. There's so much detail. I mean, have a look at the rosette, the purflings around the guitar. Sorry, we're not getting great focus today. It's focusing on my dumb face. There we go. Look at the rosette and the purflings. That's the decorations along the exterior of the guitar there, the outer edges. The tie block with that beautiful same motif that you're seeing along the purflings of the guitar. It's like very Simplicio inspired, I would say, these purflings. And I love how it's these like little diamonds, again, what's present in the rosette and the tie block that you see going along the purfling here. It is a beautiful piece of art. In the back and sides is this really nice set of ebony, exotic ebony. Glass, like absolute mirror-like finish here. Just perfect French polish. Really, really nice. This one just has a little bit of wear down here underneath the bridge. And aside from that, yeah, a couple little marks. Aside from that, it's just perfect condition. So the neck, I mean, the neck is just this beautiful, beautiful, I mean, there's a nice color to it, but also look at the V-joint. Look at all the woods. Look at the veneer of ebony here and that same strip that you'll see down the center of the back here on the head of the guitar. And then topped off with those tuners. It's just gorgeous. And this also has a very light lattice bracing as well. In fact, I'm going to take another look. And it's based off the Fibonacci sequence. Now, the question is exactly how to describe it. Well, here's the best way to describe it. For those of you that are familiar with what lattice looks like, which is basically like a honeycomb design, this guitar has most of the lattice effect, right? Like if you imagine where you have those crosses to where it makes the honeycombs, has it mostly here, I would say like basically contained within the area of the bridge, this area. And then along the exteriors of the guitar, there's fan braces that extend out, but there's no cross braces to make a lattice design. So anyhow, you can read more about this guitar on the website. I believe it's linked. Oh gosh, thanks for letting me know. The video is a bit choppy today. Okay, thanks. Let me see if I can close out of a few more applications here that might make it a little bit better. It could be internet connection related. Okay. Let me know if it improves. You guys would make me very happy if that's the case. Anyways, it's just a spectacular guitar, and just to try a few chords. Oops. I'm a little out of tune. And I would say this is the least lattice sounding of the guitars, and it makes sense because there's no carbon reinforcement like there is on the other two, and it's a lightweight lattice. It's not like a, you know, there's not lattice across the entire top. Listen to that. A first string that's just phenomenal. I have a little bit of a story regarding Kris Barnett's guitars. I've had a few of them over time, and I met Kris back in Georgia in, like, I don't know, it might have been like 2012 or something, a long time ago. And he was at the time building his Barnett guitar support, which nowadays is known as the Woodside guitar support. And I tried a guitar of his then, but anyways, one time I was visiting Germany, and I was traveling around a little bit, and I visited him and some other luthiers in Berlin, and I picked up another couple of guitars. And when I played one of his, which was already promised to a client, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to buy this guitar, but I couldn't. And anyways, that guitar, I think that exact guitar I recorded on, I believe it's on his YouTube channel, and you can hear that. Really beautiful guitar. I played a couple of original compositions on it, but that was, wow, that was like 3 years ago or something, 4 years ago. Just what a sweet sound, super comfortable guitar, really tall frets. Anyways, we are going to get more into that in just a second. It also has a bound fingerboard, which is really interesting and classy looking. The last guitar of today is this incredible Woodfield. Now, a video just released on this guitar on Sunday. And you guys are gonna have to tell me, does it live up to the video? I mean, for me, listening back to that video, I think this is just a super special sounding Woodfield and guitar in general, but it's a very beautiful Woodfield. And this one's had one owner. Oh, this one's a drop D. That's not fair, right? Well, let me tell you about Philip Woodfield. Now, his guitars, of these three guitars that I'm showing you here today, his guitars are played by huge famous artists all over the world. Matthias Kowalski, you'll hear people like Alexandra Whittingham playing his guitars. You'll see videos of her on YouTube playing them. You have, another Polish guitarist. Why am I blanking on his name? He was here in Austin. You guys know who I'm talking about. Actually, lots of Polish guitars, like the Kupinski duo records on these. There's a lot, and actually Marcin Duda owned a Woodfield, or still does, I'm not sure. I'll think of the name. I can't believe it's dropping out of my mind here, but lots of people are playing on Woodfields. Giampaolo Bandini. And these guitars are just supreme recording instruments. It's just phenomenal. I mean, recording, performing, whatever you're doing on the guitar. The sustain is great. And as you all saw me highlighting in the video, there is something special about the vibrato. And it's got a beautiful marriage between a slow attack and a fast attack. It's really in between. The trebles just fly off the string. And then now the coolest part about this guitar, I mean, there's a lot of cool things about it. One, you can see the lattice bracing through the top. And in fact, in this, you probably see it even better than in the video that I released on Sunday. I don't know why it didn't come out so much, but you can see that, right? Can you see the lattice bracing all down here? I mean, it's pretty shocking how clear it is. You'd have to really have this on the most HD setting, and maybe with my video or live stream settings, it's not working as well today, but it's crazy. Now listen, this guitar has a very unusual geometry, and he's been doing this for many, many years now, but it's called his GC2, his Grand Concert 2 design. You see this? From this angle, you quite obviously notice this guitar has a raised fingerboard, right? Making it easier to access the upper frets, but check it out. You see that? Traditional geometry on the bass side. Because, right, there's no need for a raised fingerboard on this side. You're not reaching your hand over the top of the guitar the opposite way. So it's very odd when you look at the guitar like this. You see that? I'm going to hold it like that. One side of the guitar is taller than the other, right? Now, this makes for, at least for me, a very satisfying feeling in the hand. The geometry feels like a normal guitar, except you have a very raised fingerboard on this side. I mean, it's not slight. There's quite a bit of raised fingerboard here. So that's fascinating. And then another fascinating thing, this is 5,000 plus year old bog oak wood, or bogwood, as it's also called. And it is gorgeous. Talk about a unique wood that you're not going to find on other instruments. You've got this really dark strip down the center where you can hardly see the wood grain. In fact, it's this perfect kind of blend from lighter color to darker color. If you look close enough, you will see wood grain, especially at those transition kind of spots there. And it's just gorgeous. I mean, it's such a work of art to look at. Of course, you have a very ornate rosette here that's actually simple and out there in both ways, right? Because on this side is very dark and plain, and over here you have this kind of leaf that breaks the borders of the rosette. So it's obviously identifiable as a Woodfield. The neck, super comfortable. It's like a satin oil finish here. I think it's tongue oil. And then Scheller tuning machines, which actually have some of the most impressive engravings on them. I'm a big tuner nerd, for those of you all that follow this channel. I'm sure you know that, but look at those Scheller engravings. Pretty darn cool. Well, lovely, isn't it? Well, I have spent already too much time introducing the guitars, because now I'm going to go through and kind of review them in full. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Adit? Good to see you. Yeah, really one-of-a-kind rosette. And you know what? He does lots of different rosettes, so it's kind of cool. Different strokes for different folks, as they say. Let's start out here with a full review of the first guitar, which is this Zbigniew Gnatek guitar, an Australian maker. Lots of different artists have played his guitars and still do play his guitars over time, and this is the very first one I've had in my shop. It has a crazy loud sound. I already did some introduction of this guitar. I would say it's by far the loudest guitar of the three. Remember, that's not the best thing, right? It's not like volume is what makes a guitar. I would say this guitar is, well, there's something particularly fascinating to me about it. It has that really incredible sustain, like on a Smallman guitar. And you know what? That support from the bass that is so unfamiliar in a way. It's like the support in the bass is something to get used to for any player, really. I mean, it's, you still hear, right? And you still hear this, right? So it's got that amazing support in the bass. There's not this lattice-y type of sound to it, honestly. I mean, there's, the mid-range is tame in a way, in a very nice way. Sloppy, sorry. It's very fun to play on, and it's very, very responsive. Now, this guitar has a raised fingerboard, which is very nice. I mean, what I really admire about this guitar is that it's this modern carbon fiber reinforced lattice brace guitar with a doubled back, with that arched back and everything. But it has such a traditional look to it. It's a secret weapon. See, you look at the rosette and this plantilla of the guitar, and it just looks like a beautiful classic guitar. Now, if you look really closely, you see the bridge, you start getting little hints, like the way it's constructed, more in this Smallman style, where there's this rectangular portion and then very routed away slots for each string, for a very lightweight design and even distribution. But the rosette looks classy, looks very simple. The label looks simple. The geometry of the guitar is fairly standard. I mean, you've got, you know, a raised fingerboard, which is very nice. And then the headstock, quite obviously Boucher inspired. Very, very nice. Nothing super modern looking. And, you know, the back and sides are beautiful. Now, this guitar, including on the back and sides, although less so, has a lot of wear to it. You know, there's scratches here where you rest your shirt. You know, like maybe if you're wearing a button-down shirt, you might get scratches there over time. There are some. Where you rest your legs, some of the finish has worn away. And on the top of the guitar, there are a lot of scratches everywhere. No one would pick up this guitar and say, oh, it looks brand new. But when you're that far away, I mean, look, guys, the camera is 3 feet away, I would say. About a yard away, a meter away, something like that. And you do not notice these scratches. And that's because this guitar, although it's played a lot, it's been very well cared for. There's no dings into the top. It's just superficial little light scratches that anyone that wanted to get this re-polished could absolutely do so. I'm more in favor of leaving it alone unless you really want to do that. But this guitar has been well played and it's priced accordingly. What I love is that this guitar has had now, gosh, 12 years to break in. And there are some sounds on this guitar that are really unique, like the bass response here over the fingerboard is really something unique. Sorry, I'm forgetting a lot of this piece. I should quit while I'm ahead. But anyways, incredibly easy guitar to play on. There's actually no fret dots on this guitar, which is what's throwing me off. I always, you know what? I'm gonna do it now. I use a little bit of whiteout, paint on whiteout, and I make the tiniest dot. I mean, no one needs to even know. It's just you guys' and mine little secret. By the way, it completely comes off. There's nothing here that like stays on the guitar or damages it or anything. You guys can always use that. It's just a little BIC paint on whiteout, which is hard to find these days. I actually think I ordered it on eBay. This guitar is a hot rod. I mean, it just sings. Pretty beautiful, isn't it? So if you're looking for a great concert guitar, and maybe you don't have the budget to get some of the crazy high-end or get a Smallman or a really expensive double top, here is a great option. Gnatek, it's not live on the website yet, so check it out. You can see a link in the description. And that is a guitar that you can try to snag before it goes live. With the full review. So, okay, we're going to go on to the next guitar. This is a guitar by Kris Barnett, which I already introduced a bit here, but Kris Barnett is an American luthier that's based in Berlin for many years now. He has recently stepped away from guitar building to focus on some other projects and things. And this guitar is amongst the last few that he built. This is number 141 from the year 2025 and has very minimal wear, just underneath the bridge, a few little things. Other than that, it's in perfect condition. Beautiful cedar top. He's got a bracing underneath that has to do with the Fibonacci sequence. I'm not going to try to describe it all here, but you can read it in the description. This awesome ebony back and sides. And just craftsmanship galore. It's just beautiful. Every little detail, the purflings, you know, how you see the same thing on the purflings here on the tie block and in the rosette. And these geometric patterns that are just beautiful. Again, head as well. Look at that. That same little motif that's on the purflings goes down the center of the head. Beautiful V-joint neck. That same strip here with some continuity here from the back strip of the guitar. 650 scale. Just so easy to play. Now, coming from that Gnatek, I would say I have to push this guitar a little bit harder in order to match the volume. But for someone looking for a slightly more traditional sounding guitar, that no one would ever guess has a lattice bracing underneath, this would be a very compelling option. Very nice, isn't it? It has this resonance to it that's very charming. It's warmer in size. It's warmer in sound. I clicked size on my computers. I just got a notification that my system's running low. So anyways, my system's running low on memory, so I'm trying to make some space. You know how it is. It's got a very warm voice to it, and it's a very satisfying sound. A very balanced sound. A little bit more traditional in voice. I would say the notes don't fly off the string in the same way on like a Lattice and double top guitar typically do, in a good way. You know, it gives you a little bit more leeway to push. Pretty sweet, right? Now, one thing I forgot to mention are the frets, which are these bubbly little tall frets, and it's a bound fingerboard, meaning you don't see like the tangs on the ends. And you know where else I recently saw that was on the Japanese luthier that I represent here in North America, Yosuke Kobayashi. His guitars also have this bound fingerboard, and I think, you know, it's more of like a steel string tradition where you do that, and sometimes it's like flanked with like maple or something to make it flashy. On this guitar, it doesn't, and it's just ebony, and it looks so nice, and it feels good for the fingers too. It's not something you see all the time. Let me see if I can show you what I mean here. Okay, look at the side of the fingerboard. You see how there's, oops, that's my face. Yeah, you see how there's no tangs that go into the side? It's very, very nice. And by the way, there's a slight, well, I was going to say there's a slight radius. I think there is to the fingerboard. Let's try drop D. There's this crystalline sound to the trebles. Lovely, isn't it? All nylon strings, by the way. By the way, this is strung up with D'Addario XTC 45s, and that is no carbons on this guitar. All nylons, really, really nice. Actually, sorry, these are the titanium trebles. So very interesting. This is the XTC 45 TT. So it's that mixture between nylon and carbon. It's actually a string that I rarely use, but I think it works really well on this guitar. What do you guys think? Let's try Prelude 11 by Targa. Just a beautiful amount of sustain on this one. It's so easy to play. I forgot to mention that. The back of the neck is C-shaped. It's very thin. This is exactly how I might order a guitar. It's very, very thin, C-shaped, and just so easy to play. Nice low action, and you really feel like you can lean into this guitar. I'm going to try I Dream of You by Per Oliver Kingren. How beautiful is that? Just a wonderful guitar to get to know. And also a guitar at a price point that, now it's not an inexpensive guitar, but it's at a price point that's affordable compared to a lot of guitars that are crafted at the same level as this one. And what a joy it is to get to know this work of art by Kris Barnett. And again, elevated fingerboard, 20th fret, just a beautiful design altogether with very thoughtful specs and, of course, beautiful Barnett tuners. Okay, do we have questions about this guitar, or should I move on to the next? Yeah, the guitar handles well. Yeah, Mia says it handles the titanium trebles well. You know, honestly, I am not generally a fan of these D'Addario titanium trebles, and I say that being sponsored by them. But of course, every player has their preference of strings, and I know some people that just love the titanium trebles. And now I'm thinking, maybe I should give it a try again, because these titanium trebles sound so good. And you know what? They're kind of marketed and made as a mixture between nylon and carbon, and I'm hearing that mixture. Sorry, I'm having way too much fun on this guitar. But, okay, Brent asks a question. Hey, Evan, Brent out in the Wild West of Southern California. How often do you find it necessary... Let me just restart that. I'm not speaking well. How often do you find it necessary to change out bass strings as opposed to trebles? That's a great question. How often to change strings? First off, I have to say that the D'Addario XTC strings are something entirely different. Lately, these have been lasting me so much longer than their typical strings that I use. Maybe twice as long. Some people say 3 times as long. I think for me, it's about twice as long. But it's not about amount of time they've been on the guitar. I find it has so much more to do with how much you've played the guitar. So for me, I would say somewhere around 50 hours of play, 40 hours of play, strings start to sound really, really bad after that amount of time. Back when I was an undergraduate guitarist, just playing like every second I could in the day, maybe 8 hours or more, I swear to you, I was killing strings in 2 to 3 days. And if I had the money to do it, I would have changed them every 2 to 3 days because it just brought me so much joy to have new strings on my guitar. But nowadays, especially since I play so many guitars, they last a lot longer. But even if it's one I'm bringing to play a concert on and all this, I don't do some funny thing like change the strings right before the concert if I was practicing on them for a few days before. Honestly, if I'm practicing hard for a concert on one guitar, the strings might last a week or two. But that's absolute maximum if you're playing like, 3 to 5 hours on them every single day. So I don't know if my math checks out there. I think it will. Just answering honestly as possible. But for everyone, it's really quite different. Now, for your specific question about how often do I change the basses opposed to the trebles, I will change out my basses twice. So 2 sets of basses for every set of trebles that I change quite often. I'll do it that way. However, if I'm playing a piece that's either a lot of rasgueados or any sort of technique where I'm going to be scraping up the trebles kind of easily, sometimes the scratchiness of the first string after it's been, really beaten up can really bother me. So if that's the case, I'll just change them both out at the same time. But yeah, it's usually about 2-to-1 ratio for me. I used to never do that, by the way. I used to always change both sets out, but to be honest, it's kind of frustrating waiting. I might have not gone, I might have ended the live stream. Okay, we're back to being live. Can you guys hear me again? I think you might have lost me for a second. It was that my computer ran out of memory. So that's probably why you're getting a lag. Hopefully we're back again. You guys can let me know if we're still here. Anyhow, to finish that thought, Brent, that yeah, usually 2-to-1, I think that does the trick. Again, I can't recommend the D'Addario XTC strings enough. I think you get significantly more life out of those basses. And of course, the basses are the first ones to die. So, yeah, that's about it. Let me go ahead and move on to the next guitar here. This beautiful Philip Woodfield, which I might do a little bit shorter of a presentation as we're getting close to 12 Central Time. And I just released a full video on this guitar, but I want to play some of the same things on this than I did on the Barnett. Great, we're still live, awesome. So this is an absolutely fabulous guitar by the English maker Philip Woodfield. Philip Woodfield's guitars are played by many different famous artists. And people talk about them, I find, in a very similar way. He makes very, very consistently great instruments. And this one, of course, you guys, those that were here at the beginning of the stream, you heard me talking about it, but there's this GC2 design where you have a raised fingerboard on this side of the guitar, but not on the other, which is really genius. Must be difficult to build, but it allows you to reach the high frets here without the look of the raised fingerboard on this side, and perhaps some sonic differences there. Even though, of course, this area of the guitar, so like underneath the sound hole area, is much more important in terms of sound. That's where most of the sound is produced. And as you'll hear me say in the video, I hope I'm not repeating myself too much. For me, these are some of the best recording guitars in the world. It's so malleable, and it's ridiculous the amount of vibrato you can get on a carbon string. This is a carbon second string. Just gorgeous. I mean, this has a spruce top where you can see that carbon reinforced lattice bracing underneath the top, through the top, without putting a light in, right? Pretty insane. And then bogwood, 5,000-year-old bogwood back and sides, which is just incredible looking, and something you never see on a guitar, really. a satin or oil finish neck here, Scheller tuners. I know I already showed these to you guys, but just with beautiful engravings, you got to see it again. And let's test some things on this guitar because it's worth hearing. See, I find these to be super clear sounding guitars, but so clear. I mean, there's so much fundamental, but somehow this guitar still carries the beautiful overtones underneath. I love how quiet and gentle you can be on this guitar, and then reverse course on a turn of a dime. Let's try some things in standard tuning. What do you guys think? Wow. I want to try this. Well, what a beautiful guitar. So much fun to play on. I wanted to play Grand Valse because I just want to play with the vibrato that's possible on this guitar. Okay, well, I will end the stream there. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have questions about any of these guitars, please reach out. I would love to answer your questions. There's my email in the description in this video, and there's also links to each of these guitars. You can read all about them in the description. If you're watching this after the fact, you can always jump around. You can always jump around through the timestamps. And thanks so much for watching this video, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow with a video release on a beautiful Karsten Cobbs guitar. And see you soon, and I hope to hear from you. Bye-bye.